What's good, everybody? Your boy's back with another video. Now, recently we went over all the positions and the characters in the game, and I thought, hey man, you guys got to build all those characters, and you're gonna P5 them. You got to run Pbuffs. That's the next best thing. After you build all the characters, you got to set up their Pbuffs. You want your characters to get extra buffs and attributes, and it really just makes them all better all around. And someone did request that I do Pbuffs. I was going to do it anyway, but then I saw someone else asking about it, so I said, hey, let's get around to doing it. I'm going to show you guys all the Pbuffs that I run. I'm going to show you which ones I recommend. Obviously, like I said, most of these are just what you should run, but some of them are my opinion, obviously. Um, but obviously, you have to set up first what positions you really want to run. Obviously, I have all 5 of the positions set up, but that's because I've been playing for years, so it took a long time to set all these up. But as a new player, you should really find what position you want to main. So if you want to be a small forward main, you want to be a power forward main, you want to be a PG main, and then kind of build all of the characters from that class. So like if say I'm a center main, I want to build a Lee, I want to build a Luther, I want to build a Krista, I want to build a Camila, I want to build you want to build them all so you get all those buffs. Obviously we're going to start from center and we're going to move over, but you really want to find the class that suits you. Hey, I want to be a PG main. All right, let's build all the PGs first, and then we can move over to the next position. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I recommend doing personally. But you just everyone's different, so everyone can do what they want to do. I'll start off with centers. Now, centers, um, you really want to run rebound. For centers and power forwards, it's the same thing. You want to run rebound, whether it's double rebound or just one character's rebound. Uh, you want to run some type of rebound. Now, you'll have to find out whether you want to run a 3 point success rate or mid range. So, whether you like shooting mid ranges or you like shooting 3 points, you have to figure that out on your own, which one you prefer doing, because that'll change with what you're going to be running. With centers, um, if you want to be a rebounder, you don't like shooting the ball that much. You just want to be a guy that gets boards and passes to the teammates. I recommend you run Jimmy's rebound, Camila's rebound, and then run Luther and Krista's speed. That's your best rebound build you can go with. If you wanted to run a shooting, then you want to go what I have here: Jimmy's rebound, Lee's 3 point success rate, Luther's speed, and Krista's speed. That's your best bet to go with for a shooting build. You'll get that success rate. You'll also still get that rebound, so you're kind of mixing things together. And then if you wanted to run the same thing, but you can run a mid range, you can go with Big Dog instead of Lee, and then run the other 3 with Big Dog's mid range. If you want to be a mid range shooter. But like I said, it all comes down to what you prefer running. Now, obviously, like I said, to get both buffs, you have to P5 the characters. So, if you don't have them P5, then you won't get that second slot. You'll have the first slot. Um, but the best for me personally, what I recommend running if you're a center main is to run either Jimmy or Camila's rebound, Lee's 3 point, uh, Luther's speed, and Krista's speed. That's what I recommend personally. That's just what I run. I'm not the best big out there, so this is just what I recommend. Some people like running double rebound, some people like running mid. It all comes down to what your preferences are. For power forwards, it's a little different. A lot of people like to run shooting power forwards. We're in a meta with shooting bigs these days. Um, this one's a lot easier than the other ones. There's not really a lot of options to go with. Um, so the one necessity for everyone that's not opinion wise whatsoever, this is just a necessity, is to run Max's speed. Max's speed, that movement speed, is the number one option. Like, it's the number one thing you need. It's a necessity. You need to run it. If you want to have good power forwards, you need to run it. The second thing is rebound. Whether that's phase rebound or Deacon's rebound, you need to run at least one rebound. You can double rebound if you choose, but you need to run a rebound. And then your shooting all comes down to it all comes really down to everyone runs the Clark 3 point success rate, but then it all comes down to whether you want to run mid range. Like if you don't want to run Clark, then you can run Murdoch's mid range, but I wouldn't recommend running power forward mid range shooters because they're not. I wouldn't have mid range power forwards. That's not great. Um, and then Lulu would just come down to if you wanted to run double rebound, then you would take Lulu out and you would put on Faye. But this is what I really recommend personally. If you have like 30 ping or lower, bro, then you just really kind of need the one rebound, and you can run the double 3 point success and then movement speed. So that way you can spread the floor for your teammates and shoot open threes, but you can also go snag rebounds and play defense. So this is for me the best all-around thing. It's what I run. I think it's the best option too. The only thing I would change maybe is if I wanted to be a pure rebounder, I'd take Lulu's off and then run phase rebound as well. So but this is what really works for me, and I've had a lot of success doing it. So for me, this is what I recommend to run your power forwards, but you can switch it up as you please. Now this one, I run this right now. This will change soon, but this is what I run right now. Um, and that's small forwards are. There's a lot of options you can go with here. The double speed's like a necessity. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, Jack and Amanda's speed is a necessity, but it all comes down to like I said before, if you want to run mid range or if you want to run 3 point. I recommend running 3 point personally. I prefer to shoot 3 pointers than mid ranges, but I guess it all comes down to whether a rank season or if it's casuals. Because ranked, you're probably going to run mid range more than 3 point. But right now, it's the rank season's not out, so this is what I recommend running. I recommend going with the double speed, obviously. Carter's 3 point because you want that 6%. And then I run William right now. Obviously, William you can go to if you want to go full speed. You want to have really fast small forwards. But I recommend that you run Rebecca because Rebecca gives a 3 point success rate. I recommend running that. I recommend going the double speed, the Carter 3 point, and the Rebecca 3 point. The only thing you can change there is you can take the Rebecca 3 point off and you can run Saru's mid range if you want to be a mid range shooter, like I said. Or you can go the triple speed I have and take Carter off and run that as a mid range. But what I recommend is to keep, if you're going to do a 3 point build, to do Carter, Rebecca, Jack, and Amanda. And then if you were going to do a mid range build, have what I have right now, but switch the Carter with Rebecca's switch the Carter with Saru's mid range. That's probably your best option. This is what I run right now. I have to P5 Rebecca, and then I'm probably going to run her 3 point instead of Williams speed. But this is just what I run right now, and it's fine, but it's not the best it can be, so I have to change out the William for Rebecca, so that'll be happening in the future. But I recommend that you run 3 point over mid range. That's just my preferences. And then PG, I think most people run a 3 point PG. I feel like that's kind of like the meta these days. PG, this is kind of what it is. Like what I have right here is what 95% of people run. The only difference might be that instead of the Pedro, they might run the Mika, so they might have a triple speed. I don't recommend doing that because that takes a lot of your success rate away. Because I feel like with the double speed and some decent silver cards, you already have 120, 130 speed, so I feel like that's enough where I can pick up and play defense perfectly fine. But this is perfect. This is what I recommend you run your PGs. I don't think you should switch it up at all. The only thing you can switch up is if you want to run triple speed and run Helena's mid range. That's just if you want to be a mid range character. Um, so you could run Little Fox, Cindy, and Mika's speed, all three of those, and then you could run uh, Helena's mid range, and that could be for your mid range characters if that's what you want to play. But if you want to be a 3 point shooter, this is exactly what you want to run. this is the perfect thing to run. This right here, just a perfect 3-point build right here. You'll get a lot of success. You'll have a lot of speed. You'll have everything you really need, and this would be perfect. But like I said, you can run the 3 speed and the mid range if that's what you want to run. And then our last one, I know I don't have them all P5. I need to get around to P5 and Walker too. Um, I run a 3-point build for shooting guards. Like I said, it's the same thing as the last two we've gone over. You can either run mid range or 3-point, like I said. Um, Ren's a necessity to run for speed. Walker's a necessity to run for speed. Like I said, you can either run one speed. For Walker, you can either run one of his slots as speed and one's 3-point defense resist, or you can run double speed. But Ren's a necessity. You need the 14.4 movement speed from her, the double 14.4 movement speed. So she's a necessity. Walker, you make that decision whether you want to run the double speed or one 3-point defense resist and speed. And then it comes down to your mid range. If you were going to run down to or your success rate, if you were going to run, say, 3-point build, then you would go with what I have and have the double Carolina and Jason. But if you were going to run a mid range, then you would put on Nadia's speed and run Jason's mid range. So you would switch that 3-point to mid range. I don't recommend doing that because I feel like most of the characters or most of the shooting guards in the game are just good mid range shooters. So I don't really recommend a mid range build personally. But I'd rather be a 3-point shooting guard main. But this is what I would run. The only thing that might change out of what I have here is that Walker, once I P5 him, I might run a 3-point defense resist, so I have more defense resist. But other than that, this is basically my build. This is what I recommend running personally for most people. But you know, like I said, if you're a mid-range shooter, it's different. Um, this type of build helps a Kim a lot. Kim out a lot because you can run the Walker defense resist, so that helps out Kim. Um, but like I said, Pbuffs all really come down to preferences, how you play, how your play style happens. But this is what I recommend if you want to be mainly a 3-point shooter. I'm mainly a 3-point shooter and a scorer, but I tend to play big sometimes. And you really just got to follow with what the meta is. Not like play the characters that are meta, but you have to follow like what's the best way to win a game. Like having a stretch big is just something that's really nice to win a game, and having open 3-point shooters in the corners are just helpful ways to win games. Like that's not really meta. It's kind of just like common sense to just how to win games. Um, but yeah, this is really the Pbuff video. I wanted to make it short and sweet, you know, just straightforward and easy. This is what I run personally. I didn't switch anything around. I didn't like for the video. I didn't want to hide anything. This is really what I run all the time. Uh, Maybe I'll switch up for a mid range or something sometimes once in a while, depending on if it's like a ranked season. Because like I said, with ranked, you're not going to be running 3-point success rate. You're probably going to be running mid range because that's just how it is. There's better defenders and stuff when you play ranked. Uh, but yeah, when I mainly playing casuals, I be running the 3-point success rate. Uh, but like I said, I hope this was helpful for you new players or you people trying to build your characters and your positions. Um, like I said, that's really all I got. I hope everyone has a fantastic day. Hope everyone likes the video. Uh, Thank you guys to all the new subscribers that have been subbing. I think we've gone up like 20 or 30 subs in the last like month or something. It's incredible to me. I can't believe it. So thank you guys so much for that. But like I said, hope everyone has a great day, and I'll catch you guys all next time. Peace.